Welcome to Conversations with Celena, the podcast where we discover inspiration, motivation, and information to help you live your best life. I'm your host, Celena, aka Sunshine, and each week we'll dive into conversations with guests who share their testimonies, insights, and advice. We'll explore topics that uplift, encourage, and empower you to be the best version of yourself you can be. So tune in and let's have some fun while we explore all that life has to offer. Keep it smiling, sunshine, and let's go. Hey, sunshine. Hey, sunshine. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Celena. I am once again super excited to be here with you on tonight, and I cannot wait to introduce to you my guest for tonight, our guest for tonight, because I think I'm going to share her with you. But she is amazing. So yes, I definitely want to share her with you and celebrate all of her accomplishments. But I do want to give you all a chance to share the video, because we also need to share. So just give me a minute and we'll be right back and ready to rock and roll. I need to share this. Hopefully it didn't kick me off. So let's see here. How y'all doing tonight? We're almost through April. Yes. We are almost through this month. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating a birthday on today, this month, anniversaries, graduations, whatever, babies. Oh, because we got a baby on the way in my family. And so I called earlier to see if we had a baby yet. But I don't know. I didn't get an answer. So y'all just hang tight and I'll give you the information as soon as I get it. All right. So the only announcement that I have for today is Saturday is Cheers to 4 years, Conversation with Celena 4-year anniversary. And that's how we're going to go out with a bang for our 4-year anniversary. It is such a blessing. If nothing else, it's a testimony not to quit, to keep pushing, to keep going, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what it feels like. You keep pushing, and I'm going to keep pushing. We're going to push together. All right. So tonight we have Miss Angelica Harris, and she recently received her master's in computer science, which was her third degree from Washington University. Prior to college, she was offered over $1.5 million. I'm going to say that one more time. $1.5 million in college scholarships and received admittance to top universities. However, before all of this, she had to take the ACT. Oh Lord, we all know what that's like, right? She started with a score of 16 and through her own efforts increased it to 32 with an impressive 35 in math, all achieved within a span of 7 months. Since then, she has spent 7 years helping other students do the same. Can you say amazing? So while in undergrad, she noticed a low percentage of Black students at top universities and decided to create a business dedicated to helping Black students become competitive applicants. All right, so y'all just go ahead on and welcome to the stage, Miss Harris. Come on up, top tutors for us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining, girl. That is so impressive. But I'm gonna let you start wherever you want to start. But I was like, wow, 1.5 million, golly. And then you brought your ACT score up. And people don't believe that there is a way to actually prepare for it. You know, it's like the standardized test, it's a nightmare. That's what you get in your mind. It's a nightmare. You go into the study thinking it's that way, and then you come out not doing so well. So I know you're going to share all sorts of great information, and I shared the link in your email. If you could send it to your mom from there.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I was trying to do while I was in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll just text her real fast to get on. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Yes, y'all come on in, share the video. If you're watching the replay, do the same because listen, August is going to be here and it is time. If you're not already prepared, like it's due right now. So let's get this information, let's get this knowledge and execute so that you can also receive scholarships. You can also have a higher ACT, SAT score and be the best that you can be. Like that's the best thing that you could give yourself is a leg up, you know?
Yes, yes. Oh, let's see. I had to post. How can I post this?
Did it come through okay?
It did. I'm just my okay. Publish original post. Okay, I think it's posting now. But yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Angelica Harris, the founder and CEO of Top Tutors for Us. It's a test prep program designed to empower Black and Brown students on these very important college admissions exams. And we do so by connecting these students with tutors who actually look like them. And we have a special focus on HBCU tutors. So we recruit our tutors from schools like Howard to Harvard, as we like to say. And we focus on academic skill building and the ACTs and SATs.
Awesome. Because people really do struggle. I remember not having the highest score, and I had to be over there in the remedial classes. I was like, but I didn't let it stop me because I just kept on and kept on because it is what it is sometimes, and you cannot give up. And this type of service wasn't available to me at that time, and if it was somewhere I didn't have knowledge of it. I didn't know where to go to get that type of help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I had a very similar experience because what we know is that like our community struggles with standardized tests. I mean, obviously they weren't made for us; they're actually made for us not to get into higher education, but we have to take them, to get into these top schools, and actually are so important for receiving state scholarships, scholarship at private universities.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also a crucial part for outside scholarships. So, what we know is that less than 5% of Black students actually hit the ACT college and career readiness benchmark. And that's just extremely shocking. And when I was in 11th grade, like I said, I had a really successful college career. But when I was in 11th grade, my ACT score started off at a 16. Now, given I was a 4.0 student at a high caliber high school, and so I thought I was getting everything I needed. Like I thought when it came time to take the ACT, I was going to nail it, get a near perfect score. And so when I got my score back and it was a 16, I was like just taken aback and shocked and frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And there were students actually with lower GPAs who had higher test scores than me, and I was just like really confused. And then I went to force my parents to pay a lot of money. I think it was like $1,000 for Princeton review. And then when I got there, everyone had super high scores. I was the only Black student in the class, so I was kind of, felt out of place. And by the end of the course, my score did not improve.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like, all my dreams, I felt just crushed. Like I had dreams to go to a top university. I was a varsity athlete, did all the extracurriculars, president of numerous clubs, like I said, 4.0, but a 16 on the ACT. So then I took it upon myself to build my own test prep program. I actually went homeschooled the following year. And what I realized from working through the tests was that I actually had a lot of skill gaps that was a reason why my score was super low. And so I spent most of like that time in 7 months, working, going back to the basics, relearning concepts I thought I had mastered, but I actually did not. And so through that process was when, at the end, my score doubled. So I ended up with a 32 in 7 months.
So are you saying that you were in a high caliber high school?
Mm-hmm.
You took this test, you were in the 11th grade, and then your senior year, you went to homeschool?
It was actually at the end of my going into 11th grade is when I went homeschool. At the
Okay.
end of my sophomore years when I took it and got a 16.
Mm-hmm. So did you homeschool 11th and 12th grade?
Yes. Yep. I went homeschooled. Um, and I actually was able to get ahead because I thought I was getting everything I needed in the classroom, but turns out I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was reflected in my score. So I literally broke down the entire test because the beauty about the standardized test is that it's standard. So all types of questions and concepts that are asked are the same across every exam. So so mainly what I had to do was learn the concepts that the test asks and pinpoint the important formulas. So it was just like huge spreadsheet that I created and studied from, and that's what so rather than focusing on traditional strategies, and that's what a lot of big brand test prep companies teach us, how to take the test, I focused on filling those education gaps. And that's what got my score up to the 30s and with a 35 in math.
Girl. Now, do you know of anyone else that that has a program like this?
Not that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
What makes us different? So then when it came time to apply for colleges, I told that story in my application, and I also had a lot of other things going from, like I said, I had a strong GPA and extracurriculars. So I got into a lot of really prestigious universities and ended up receiving a lot of top outside scholarships, like the Ron Brown, um, and also the Chancellor Scholarship from my university. So I was offered over $1.5 million in college scholarships. And I went to Washington University in St. Louis, completed 3 degrees, finance and computer science undergrad, and then a master's in computer science. And so when I was like at WashU, I was like, wow, like they're one of their very, very few Black students. And I also been learning about how like the standardized test was a huge barrier for
Mm-hmm.
us to get into these top universities. So the idea kind of came upon me because I was a test prep tutor at the time. I was helping a lot of students get really big jumps in their scores, going from 18s to 27s or 18s to 25s. And that's qualifying them for state scholarships. So that's a student, only being like only the local colleges are available, but now they're able to look outside of, to outside universities. Um, and so what we do that's really unique and that I have not seen any other test prep tutoring company do is that we're getting tutors from these top universities, Howard to Harvard. We're targeting Black college students at like our top 20 ranked universities. And we are training them with our program and then matching them to Black high school students. So now the student gets an actual tutor who like looks like them, who comes from a very similar background, and they're also working on a very important standardized test. And a big part of like our program, increasing student scores, is to build their foundation across academic subjects. So they begin by taking readiness assessments. And so from there, we're able to identify where they're really strong in and where they really need to improve in. And from there, we can build a lesson plan that focuses on their weaknesses. And that's our methodology to increase their student scores. And then plus they're having a lot of fun just working with a tutor who's like very close in their age.
Yeah.
And they're role models.
Wow. Um, so let me see here. I was just like, thinking to myself, I know you get to a point where I don't know if you can go back and take the ACT. Like, how many times can you take it? So, for someone who's already taken it, um, they didn't do very well on it. Maybe they've taken it numerous times already. Is there a limit?
Yeah, I think the limit is 6, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. It's either
And
6
when do
or
you
9.
suggest they start? When is the first time that you think what grade is a good grade to start?
The earlier, the better. So in our program, we actually have students as early as 7th grade. And that's actually what a lot of students from affluent communities are doing. They're starting their kids early on these tests because they know how influential it is in the college admissions process. Because
Mm-hmm.
even schools that are test optional, when a admissions rep is looking at 2 applicants, both of them have very similar GPAs, similar extracurriculars, and they have to award a scholarship, or they only have 1 spot left, and then they have a student that has a very strong test score and they have a student without a test score, they're going to be leaning towards that student with that really strong test score, because colleges want to make sure whoever they admit can finish at their university, and they like that extra data point there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, for someone who has to take the test that struggles with test taking, because I think that adds to it, even if you know the material, if you get stressed out before you get ready to take one of these standardized tests, you just freeze. I mean, some people they
Yeah.
freeze when it comes to taking a test. So, like, what are the top 3 things that you would give someone to practice before they try to take this test? Some type of way to study, rest their nerves, build their confidence, all the things.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, being comfortable with the test is super crucial. I can't think of a test that's similar to the ACTs or SATs that a high school student has taken. It's completely different from what they're used to in the classrooms. Like their, English tests and history tests and math tests was like the teacher grades them. They're able to get partial credit. You don't get any partial credit on the ACT. You either get it right, get that point, or you don't get any. So that is like a huge blind spot, to some, like, and a huge problem with the test.
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest tip is, take the test as early as possible. Even if you're like a 9th grader and you think, oh, this is kind of early, and enroll in, Be by Art program. We allow families to come in and just take the readiness assessment. It's completely free, and their student can see where they're at. Um, and then we're able to pinpoint which concepts and areas they're really strong in and or need improvement. It's because they get this diagnostic report at the end of our assessment. And so the second part would be um, a, not just knowing the format, but knowing just key strategies to each section. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's a big part of our program is, um, the English portion, being concise, like just key things for each section just to remember. Like, you do need to know how to use commas and punctuation, how to fix run-on sentences, but there are key things that you should know before taking each section.
Now,
And
how long is your program?
so typically a semester.
Okay, that's
Hmm.
not
So yeah, so we recommend parents to enroll their child for a minimum of 20 to 25 hours. Um, and obviously parents students that start much earlier, we recommend doing at least doing multiple semesters before, to get comfortable with the exam.
bad. Mm-hmm. And is this something that you can take online, or is it strictly available just locally in your area?
So our program is 100% online. So
Oh,
that's
it's
the beauty about it. So parents can go online and put a request into our website,
mm-hmm.
and from there they can We'll follow up to get a questionnaire completed and then match their child with a tutor. And so the tutors, like, we can match them with a tutor from Harvard, from Stanford, from like North Carolina A&T. They can get tutor, all anywhere across the country, and plus it allows for greater flexibility. Our tutors can work Monday through Sunday, mornings, evenings, afternoons. So it's a lot more flexibility we're able to accommodate, from being online.
Okay. Where you was at like 30 years ago for me? I feel like, girl, I'm like, yeah, Lee, because when you were talking about just a few points put you in a totally different category to be accepted at different level schools and put you in like some of them, you can get a full ride, like you said, at the state level just with having a higher score. And I remember some of those students that I graduated with, it was like their name just kept getting called, it was the same person over and over. And it's like, yeah, Lee, but it's all in their ability to take those tests.
Yeah, and I didn't know like that a lot of students have been preparing for years for this test. It's not something like, I mean, you think students, oh, they got a 32 or a 33, like, wow, how did they get that really high score? Some of them like been like started way back in middle school preparing for these exams.
Mm-hmm. But they knew to start. They knew to start. It's not something that we talk about over the dinner table. Probably don't even have dinner at the table. It is what it is. The household dynamic looks different.
Mm-hmm.
The structure is different. But here we are. It's never too late to learn. And so for the students that are getting ready to graduate, the students that are getting ready to go to junior high school, we can reach back and help them. Maybe I didn't get it, maybe the people before me didn't get it, but that's what we're here for, to help the next generation. And so I'm so glad that you were able to pick this test apart, put it all back together, and make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah, and we've had some really great students come out of our program. We also partnered with multiple school districts. So, like, I'm from New Orleans, so we're partnered with New Orleans Public Schools, St. Louis Public Schools, and a few charter schools. So we're really getting out there, and students are seeing really great results. On average, our students are increasing their composite score by 5 points, which is huge, like in terms of scholarship money. And now, like, our students have been eligible for an additional $20 million for the students that have gone through our program last year.
Wow. Plus, I want to go New Orleans in the house. Like, I didn't say that wasn't on the bio. I meant to say that earlier. I was like, okay. My last guest was from New Orleans, Louisiana, and here back to back, I got NOLA in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that is awesome, because that is an area that it's just labeled. You know what I mean? It's stereotyped, and if you can go and help change the trajectory of some of these children's lives. I mean, just think about the impact that you're having, one child at a time. Did you think this is what you will be doing as part of your purpose?
I did not think this is what I was going to be doing. Like, I came from, like I said, a pretty technical major. Like your son, I studied computer science. So I literally thought I was going to be working for like a tech company like Apple or something. So that's what I was shooting for post grad school. But, God works in mysterious ways, and like this kind of just landed upon me. And it was really crazy. It's like right before I came up with the idea for Top Tutors, like it was a semester before I graduated. And then I began developing. I was working on the web app, and pitched this concept to the St. Louis public schools, and they were like, "We want this." And it just was crazy because it was like a month before I graduated, and I was like talking with my parents about it. I'm like, should I just, pursue this, or go to corporate? And they were like, follow your dreams. And so here we are about a year later.
And
So.
your dream was corporate at first, that's what the dream was. But dreams change, child. Dreams will change on you.
And then it's like, this is just so impactful. Like, I love doing what I'm doing. I just, loved helping students get to that next level and just realize their dreams, and, that they can shoot, for those top universities. They can get a 30 on their ACT. So.
Hey, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is some good information. So, all right. So it's a semester. It's 100% virtual. It is helping students increase their ACT, SAT scores, any standardized tests, right?
Yeah, we focus on high school students. So all standardized tests relating to high school students. So there's even a test called the AccuPlacer, which is for students trying to get into community college.
I don't know who that is. Sometimes you just don't know if it's yeah, that's a scammer. That's not Samuel.
Oh.
Girl, you can't even have your live without the scammers jumping over here trying to get your attention. We're not even gonna pay them any mind. So I'm sorry, can you repeat what you said at the last? Because that had me distracted.
So we support high school students on high school students on all standardized tests that they encounter, from PSAT, SAT, ACT, and the test called the AccuPlacer.
Okay, never.
So the AccuPlacer is for a test for students trying to get into community college.
Okay, I don't think I had to take that one. Things have changed a lot.
But eventually, our goal, we want to expand to all standardized tests. And on the college level, even for trade schools, like GRE, MCAT, because that cultural competency, students be able to work with tutors who look like them. And like, there's so much actually great research out about the importance of Black instructors to Black students. What we know is that when Black students have one or more Black teachers, their graduation rates increase by over 30%. But we have a huge shortage of Black teachers currently. Like, less than 5% of teachers are Black in our public schools.
And I feel like the kids can relate more to someone that looks like them, because even for the teacher, it looks like my niece, my nephew. It's almost like, to me, I'm gonna take you up underneath my wing and help you. Whereas if you don't have that, you're just kind of a number in the classroom.
Yeah, and like, I personally didn't have my first Black teacher until college, and so like, when I had my first Black teacher, I was like, wow, like I just felt super inspired. And that's part of the program, is like, we're going, like, that's where we're working with, local public schools in metro areas to really target, disadvantaged students, so they can, be inspired, empowered to know that somebody who looks like them is like at these top schools, and that they can like dream big and get there.
Dream big. Yes, you're so right, because if you don't have that role model, you don't have that mentor, you don't have that person to look up to, you feel like it's for everyone else but not you.
Exactly. Yep. Especially if you're a first generation student, like, you might not think college is possible, or a 4-year college is possible. You might be just looking at 2-year colleges. But like, if you get someone who just like, they came from your area and they're at a 4-year university, like just the amount of just empowerment that comes with it.
I know, and you feel so excited and you feel so proud of them anytime you have someone that is in a higher role, that you can look up to dream big, like you said. And I mean, don't even dream where they are, dream bigger than what they are, because most mentors and teachers and professors, they strive for to make an environment for their children, their students, to do better than them. No one wants you to just be like right here, eye level with them, nose to them. They want you to do better. So it's like dream higher and dream bigger. And like with your parents telling you, follow your dreams.
Exactly.
Everyone is going to be supportive. Not every parent is going to say that. They're going to say, you need to go to corporate. You need to make sure you got insurance and 401k and retirement, because they don't think out the box. And this helps students and parents and anyone that wants to strive for more. It's encouraging. Just to hear your story. I know you're young, so you can do some stuff like that. But we also can follow our dreams as well. So it's a testimony that's encouraging, even for someone who is older. So thank you for that.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, and actually, our logo is it's a student graduate, and they're shooting off someone who like up into the sky. So it's like a miniature version of them shooting up. They're shooting them up to the sky.
A little mini me.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute. So is there any advice that you would like to share with students just to make sure that that their application showcases their unique strengths and potential? Is there like a paper or something that they can write or add to their applications whenever they're applying for different things to add to that high score that they're going to get? Because I think a lot of times we don't know what our portfolio should look like. We don't know what the packet needs to include. It may say A, B, and C, but I actually heard someone say, even if the package, like whenever you're getting ready to graduate or whatever, and it says you must have a GPA, let's say 4.0. I was told, even if you don't have the 4.0, apply for that one anyway, because sometimes nobody applies for it. I think there's a misconceived notion maybe that I'm not going to get it. This is probably going to go to so-and-so. So nobody applies for some of these scholarships, and money is left on the table. So is that true? And, what can they add to their application just to ensure that everything that they need to showcase to the person that's reading it, it's there?
Yeah, I have a ton of scholarship tips. So biggest thing is like apply early. So like I've seen it a lot of times where scholarship committees, I remember I received a scholarship where they actually selected me before the deadline. They just, I guess, I don't know if the committee just wanted to go home or something, but they're like, make sure you just don't miss the deadline. That's a really big part. And tailor your essay to the scholarship committee. So, or whatever scholarship organization you're applying for. So don't like just write one generic essay and send them out to every scholarship. Like you won't receive anything like that. Actually take your time to research the organization. Like why were they founded? Like every organization has a mission, and like sometimes it's just to, honor this individual in this particular area. So tailor your essay to their mission. That's like, they want to see like they're giving it to someone who they made the scholarship for. And then be a giver. Like if you're in 8th, 9th grade, I think this is a perfect time for you to start some kind of, like sometimes starting a nonprofit can be pretty challenging, but I find that scholarships like to give to givers. So if you're like a high school student, try to find something where you can really lead some like impactful project in your community. And this will not only help your scholarship application, but also your college application. Because like these committees want to see like, all right, so we admit this student to our college, they're going to come here and they're going to start something, they're going to be a leader on our campus, they're going to get involved. They're not just going to be in the classroom and like just studying and like in their own bubble, like they're going to help us grow. So what I did in high school, I founded this organization called Angelica's Angels. So I played golf. I grew up playing golf, started playing golf when I was 4 years old.
What?
And
golf? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was a golfer. And like my youngest brother has autism. So the problem is that like it's people with autism can't go on the course because they have to be really quiet. Like in golf, like the audience is not allowed to make noise. Unlike in football and basketball, everyone can yell, scream, and shout, but in golf, everyone's to be silent. So his disability, he wasn't able to like watch me play tournaments. And so what I did, I brought golf to his school. And so like once a week, I taught these kids golf lessons, and also raised money for their school to have a golf program. And like the scholarship committees really liked that, and so did the college admissions. So I gave away like a really small scholarship, but like I got a lot of scholarships because of that. So if you can find a way of your high school student to like create some kind of project, it doesn't have to be giving away money. It could just be like just finding a problem and reaching, a disadvantaged community, or doing something that's impactful. And I think I like what you talked about earlier, like don't disqualify yourself from scholarships. Like you just never know. And reach out to like the scholarship committees before you apply. Like, email them to let them know you're applying. And they go through thousands of applications, but like if someone, if they know your name, they'll look out for your name and they'll like make sure that your application gets seen. So I'm learning it's also about your network, and that comes with getting admitted to colleges as well. Like someone who's in admissions, or like know a college student can connect you to that person, just so like you can get in front of the right person who's the decision maker. And yeah, I can go on and on and on about like different things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to think. What was I going to ask you? So, when it comes to scholarships, there's so many websites out there that you feel like you're being scammed, because once you click into it, it asks you all of these different questions, like, do you want information about this college? Do you want information about Kraft cheese? Do you want information? Like, it's all kinds of things that you're like, is this really a legitimate site for scholarships, or am I just going to get all of this spam mail when I get to the end of all of this? Because you got to say yes and yes, or no and no, and it never ends. It just keeps coming and keeps coming. So how can you? What sites are out there that you found that have been credible sites?
Yeah, so I would start off locally. I think a lot of students discredit local scholarships. So I would start off with your churches, local restaurants. Probably, if your parents have a workplace, they might have, scholarship dollars there. So any kind of community organization, like the Greek Life, like AKA Deltas, all that, those kinds of Greeks life, they traditionally have scholarships attached to them. And also just like make your voice be known, like create a GoFundMe. I recommend every high school student create a GoFundMe, share it on your Facebook page. You never know who like can reshare it and connect that student to a really wealthy individual who can donate a lot of money. So I'm a big believer in just making your voice be known, and making your requests be known. So after starting locally and with your, on your within your social networks, I would then look nationally. So most big brand fast food chains have scholarships. So like your McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. I remember receiving like the Burger King scholarship. I was not expecting that, but it's like they have those. Church's Chicken. I can pretty much go on and on, like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. All those big brands have scholarships. Chick-fil-A.
And you can stack them. So don't feel like, well, I applied for this one. So, and I'm just saying this because I discounted myself. So, you can stack them. So don't worry about, oh, well, I've already received $5,000 because this young lady right here got 1.5 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and college is a lot more expensive. Like those expenses add up. When you get your offer letter from a college, like estimated cost, it's always higher. You end up spending way more money. Like I think they have that on average, and like it's just underestimated. So you never can like have too much scholarships. Like, so I recommend applying to as many scholarships as possible. And like, yeah, there are, like in my case, there were some times where I was rejected, and so I just the way I combated that was just apply for more scholarships. And so I knew like, all right, I would receive like 20% or something. And so the more I apply, just like you'll get rejected some, and some you'll hit the jackpot.
Now, I feel like right here, this is a really important moment to just kind of pause right here, because this applies to every area in life. Mm-hmm. You will get rejected. You mm-hmm. will get no, but every no is closer to your yes. And had you took that no and went and decided, I might as well give up because they told me no, you would have missed out on so much. So mm-hmm. I want you to repeat this, what you just said about you're going to get rejected, but you show back up, that you apply mm-hmm. for more, you push harder, you go back, and you will be successful. Like quitting just not an option.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's just life. You will get a no, so you just have to keep trying. Now, I remember the first scholarship I applied for, it was the Coca-Cola, and I was rejected from it. And that was the first one. So I could have gotten discouraged and like given up. But what I did, I went back and analyzed my application, and I realized I wasn't telling a story, and I wasn't like connecting to the committee, like why I need, not just like why I needed the scholarship, but like why I was like the best candidate. And I had too much in my application. So my advice is, like, if you do get rejected, to really look at like how you can make your application better the next time. So also I connected with a college advisor. He was based in LA, and his company is Educational Attainment Services, just in case anybody wants to look him up. And he was just instrumental in like helping me get like so many scholarships and telling my story. So that was extremely, extremely helpful.
Thank you for that, because I'm telling you, life can be very discouraging when starting out the gate, you get your first no. And so that was a pivotal moment right there. Like, which direction am I going to go? Am I going to go tuck my head up underneath the covers and throw in the towel? Or am I going to go back, just like you said, and reevaluate your responses, reevaluate your application? I mean, you wouldn't even be here today if you didn't reevaluate that test and pick it
Mhm.
apart. So, again, another teachable moment is that we have to do self-evaluation as well. Like,
Mhm.
what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? Especially when you have these hopes and dreams, in most cases it's not just going to fall into your lap. I can't
Mhm.
say it's not going to, because some people it actually does just kind of fall into their laps. But for
Mhm.
the rest of us, we have to work really hard at it, and we have to um, reevaluate things, our mindset, our approach, our hearts, a lot of things that we need to reevaluate before we move forward.
Yes, and having really good mentors, I think that gave me a really like a an edge in this process. Like I said, I had an incredible mentor from LA. Like I said, his organization is called Educational Attainment Services. His name is Mark Lewis, and so he's someone I actually networked, and I met him at a college and career fair. So that's another piece of advice I recommend. If you can go to like those career fairs and network, you never know you can meet. And so I met someone who was like, um, he's been doing college advising for over a decade, and so like my biggest weakness was telling my story, and so he really pulled that story um, out of me and like helped me craft it for these applications.
Hmm. And so mentors not finna let you give up. Just to let you know, mentors is gonna, sometimes it's not gonna feel so good, because you're gonna be getting that corrective, how do I call it? Constructive correction. Yeah,
Yes.
constructive correction. And it's not always going to feel good, but just know that your mentor is there to do just that, to mentor you through some of some of the areas that you're not as strong in.
Exactly. Yeah, and sometimes the feedback can hurt. Like it's not fun to
Yeah, the feedback can hurt.
like it's not fun for someone to pinpoint all your weaknesses, and like it's definitely not a great feeling, but just like try to keep a positive attitude, like they're just trying to make you better,
Hmm.
and just more competitive. Like keep in mind college is competitive. Like it's more like these schools are getting way more applications than they ever have, and even scholarships. So like you kind of have to be on your game, and you do need a coach or a mentor. I definitely don't recommend, I mean, if you can, like get some outside support, um not just with the test. Like top tutors is a great resource, I think it is. But even with like scholarships and all that stuff, and um yeah, find people, trusted mentors. So
Hmm. So, is there an age range for the people that you tutor? Girl, I called today for a doctor, and they told me they only go up to age 25. Like, when
mhm.
was that even a thing? Like, why y'all discriminating against us over here?
Mhm. We target 7th through 12th grade.
Okay.
um and I mean we have, yeah, so that's really our main bread and butter right there, is like that age range. And yeah, all our program is built around this group. So is, yeah, to prepare them for that, the next steps. And so we do test prep. We actually also offer academic tutoring. So parents are looking for English, math, science, or we tutor in every academic course, middle and high school, all the way up to advanced placement.
Okay. And then what about your tutors? How can you become a tutor if someone was interested in that?
Mhm. Yes, please email. So it's info@toptutorsforus.com. Please email that with your resume, and we will follow up with the official application. And so it's the official application plus a behavioral interview. And so, yeah, and yeah, we're just looking for tutors, obviously, who did really well in their tests, especially if you're trying to be a test prep tutor. You need to have done really well on the ACTs or SATs. And then we pay pretty well. It's very competitive pay, flexible hours. And then you're also joining an amazing community to uplift our next generation of scholars.
Yes, that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you came from a really good mentor, and then you can also give back what was given to you. I know that does feel amazing. And I know your parents are proud of you.
Oh, yes, they are.
I just met you and I'm proud of you. I'm like, look at my sister over there. She got her own business and she is tutoring and mentoring the next generation and helping them become the very best version of themselves that they can be so that they can go and walk in their destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if not, life be lifing. And
Mm-hmm.
so, things can happen and it can be very discouraging, especially if your environment
Mm-hmm.
doesn't promote college, doesn't promote trying to go to school and not just go to school, but excel. And so, like you said, at the end of the day, to see people like you and be able to look up to your mentors, you got these mentees and you're able to look up to the mentors. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
department, can you hear them?
Not anymore.
Oh, that is that's a really good thing. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and part of our matching process is matching based not just based on like cultural background, but also career aspirations.
right, that's good. That is good. Um, I wonder what I would go back to school to be. Who can you match me with? Um, if I could go back to school, I used to want to be a teacher. Maybe I could be a tutor, but I didn't make high enough on my ACT score. I would not be able to pass the test to help somebody else make high on theirs. So that's an X for me. I don't know what I would do back.
Did anything.
Huh?
Yeah, anything. Like,
Yeah, you could be anything.
mm-hmm.
And that statement in itself is very empowering, that you can be anything that you want to be, and it does not matter the upbringing, it doesn't matter the environment. There are organizations like Top Tutors for Us and other resources that I'm sure she has available to help in all areas, of your life. So we just want to encourage each and every person. If you know of someone who is in, what's your target audience, 7th through 12th?
Yes.
So 7th through 12th graders, and it's completely virtual. So let's reach out, let's bombard Top Tutors for Us so that she have to go do some extensions. She has so many students coming in, but this is amazing. I'm going to go over here to the intermission, and then when we come back, we'll let you have the final words. So anything that you would really like to leave, the audience with tonight, final thoughts about the exams, about your products, just think about that, and we'll be right back. So we'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. We almost done.
Yes.
Hang tight, my sunshine. Conversations with Celena. We'll be right back. Hey, sunshine. All right. Well, we are back for the last few minutes of Conversation with Celena episode. This is the Monday night edition. Honey, I done had episode, I think, every Monday night this month.
Mm.
Woo, child. Like,
Thanks.
yes, but I enjoy doing this, and it's like I get a burst of energy. I work a full-time job too, but I just get a burst of energy when it's time to go live because I really love doing this. So maybe if I could go back and do something, this probably is what I would do. So yes, ma'am. I'm gonna let you give us your final thoughts, anything you want to leave us with. If you need me to put something up on the screen that I did not share, that's your LinkedIn right there.
Well, probably our website, toptutorsforus.com.
Top tutors.
Yeah, I guess while you're writing that, yeah, I'll just leave a few words of wisdom or of encouragement to our high school students who are, trying to go to college or trying to get scholarships or go to college for free. So I would just it's a tough process. Like I said earlier, it's very competitive. So the main thing is don't get discouraged. Just it's a process that I find it's a once in a lifetime process you go through. Like I can't think of anything that relates. So just keep going at it, learn along the way, try to get some really good mentors, join a really great organization that can mentor you. Obviously I think Top Tutors for Us would be a great one, but there are other ones out there that you can lean on for support. And that's, I think, a big thing. Like do not go through this process on your own. Seek help. And also just be organized. You have a lot of essays, deadlines, applications. Like get a calendar. I did this. I had a calendar and just laid everything out. So yeah, that's my big thing. Just get organized, get a good mentor, and just keep at it.
Keep at it and know that if you get a no, if you get a rejection, it's one no closer to your yes. So do not be discouraged in this process. Be organized, get a mentor. The mentor is going to help push you through some of the places where you would have just kind of stalled. That's what the purpose of that mentor is, to help push you, keep pushing you, keep pushing you until you reach your goal. And once you reach that goal, guess what? Don't get rid of that mentor so that mentor can keep on pushing you, pushing you, pushing you to the next one, because we have to have accountability in a lot of cases, because if not, no one knows that we're working toward this. And in our mind, we could be like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you have an accountability partner, tomorrow just not, it's not a tomorrow, it's a right now, today. We're doing this today.
Yeah, get yourself a buddy. If you have a friend or someone who's also has very similar goals, you guys can work at it together. My advice is don't do it alone. It's a lot.
Life is a lot. So let's not do life alone. You are not alone. I come and tell y'all this almost every other episode, because mental health is big. We're not giving up over here. We may take a rest. We may slow down because we have to rest, but we're not going to stop. You have to keep pushing forward. You have to keep going, and have someone that you're accountable to, because that will help you along the way. So I don't know. I think I was going down another road and I kept talking too much. I don't know what. I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I had said something.
I do the same thing sometimes.
I know, girl. You just
where you want to go down that rabbit hole, but you just can't remember that point.
You can't remember that point. So just be encouraged. That's what I want to leave you with. Be encouraged. Don't quit. Life be lifing. But we are on our game too. So let life keep happening, because we're gonna keep showing up.
Yep, I love that. Yep, keep showing up.
Keep showing up, and guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna keep going up. As long as you keep showing up, um, you're gonna keep. You win. You win. It's when you give up. That's when the answer is a solid no. You're wondering. I wonder if I would have. Well, if you didn't, it's a no. But if you keep trying, there's hope. There's an option that it might just be a yes at your next knock on the door. Knock.
Yep.
We don't want to knock. We don't want to ask. We don't want anybody to know that we're struggling. We don't want anybody to know that we don't know. But guess what? The next person probably didn't know either, but they reached out for help. And so definitely what I want to say, that I'm very proud of this young lady right here. And I just met her, and I feel empowered by her. I feel proud of her, but she did not give up. She did not quit. She could have looked at her score and went and just gave up. And I know I said this before, but I just feel like I have to say this again, because so often that's what we want to do. We just want to give up, and we can't do that. It's too competitive out there. And so you have to have a leg up. You have to be on top of your game in order to get that opportunity. Networking, like she said, if you get your name in there, somebody's looking out for you, because what's for you is for you, but you have to put forth the effort. So you have a responsibility in your life for what it's going to look like tomorrow. And it's all based on what you do today. So what does your daily habits look like today? What are you doing today that's going to benefit your tomorrow? So ask yourself that question. But for sure, do not give up. Please don't give up. And if you feel like you're just tired, call me. I'm gonna be like, child, I know you're tired, because Sunshine tired too, but we cannot stop. You need to rest. Let's just put our feet up, get us a little iced tea or something. We're gonna chit chat, we're gonna rest, and then we're gonna get back to it. Like, we have to get back to it.
Yeah, that exactly. Like, a yes will come. Just you have to keep at it. Your time will come.
Your time will come. The yes will come. Matter of fact, it's probably already really right here. It's just a test to see how bad do you want it. How bad do you want it? So reach out to toptutorsforus.com for anyone from 7th to 12th grade to help with ACT, SAT, any standardized tests, and tutoring. So, and she's full of resources. So I would say make sure you save this website. This is her LinkedIn. And this is the email. Is that the email address? Yes.
Yes.
That's the email address. So that's the email address. So you have all the ways to get in touch with her. But please share the information, even if you're watching and you do not have anyone that you can think of right now that needs this. Share it so that we can get the word out, and we can get your loved one, your neighbor, a tutor specifically for them that's going to be more than a tutor. They're going to be a mentor. They're going to be someone that looks like them. They're going to be someone who has similar interests. I mean, how amazing is that, to have someone like tailored to your needs? Child, I'm in the 7th grade. Can I please have somebody tailored to my needs, child? I love it. I love it. Well, thank y'all for joining. Did you have any final words, my girl?
No, just be blessed, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
Yes, y'all be blessed and have a wonderful evening. Y'all know I like to end with a kiss. Mwah. Keep it smiling, sunshine. And don't y'all forget to share the video. Have a great night, and thank you so much for joining.